unprecedented speed because we've reformed internally. Good morning.
What is your reaction of the many drones?
Good morning. We live in troubled times. The Russian war against Ukraine is still ongoing. We see that Russia is testing our resolve. So these are times where it is absolutely paramount that we have a common sense of urgency and unity to address these challenges. And therefore this informal European Council in Copenhagen comes just at the right time. We're going to discuss two topics. One is defense and the other one is Ukraine. On defense, my commission has prepared a scoping paper to discuss the direction of action, but also, for example, flagships like the drone wall. And if it comes to Ukraine, if we all agree that Ukraine is our first line of defense, we have to step up the military support for Ukraine. This is the reason why today we are disbursing 4 billion euros for Ukraine. 2 billion euros of that will be invested in drones. And we have to increase the pressure on Russia. And this is why I have proposed reparation loans for Ukraine on the basis of the immobilized Russian assets. We are not confiscating the assets, but we are taking the cash balances for loan to Ukraine. Ukraine has to pay back this loan if Russia pays reparations, because the perpetrator has to be held accountable.
In terms of the reparations loan, it's a very sensitive discussion, and many countries are very hesitant, to say the least, that this is a good idea. What is your impression? Do you think that you can get unanimity and the backing that is needed to finance Ukraine's the fact that they can keep up the battlefield exercises and everything? Do you think that there is a consensus around it?
There's a growing consensus among us that it's not only the European taxpayers that should pay for the support to Ukraine, but that Russia has to be held accountable. Russia is the perpetrator, it has caused the damage, and it has to be held accountable. And I think we have now a sound legal way to do this with the proposals of the reparations law.
Same line or dead line it is.
Do you suspect Russia being behind the many drones?
Excuse me?
Do you suspect Russia being behind the many drones attacks?
So the attribution of the drones attacks is a question that the Danish authorities have to define. What I see overall, also in the frontline countries, we had drones in Poland, we had the incursion of the airspace in Estonia, is a pattern. And this pattern is coming from Russia insofar as Russia tries to test us, but Russia also tries to sow division and anxiety in our societies. We will not let this happen.
President.
We are seeing arrests of Ukrainian citizens regarding the Nord Stream explosions. How will that affect the support for Ukraine if it turns out that Ukraine will be off the gas grid?
Our support for Ukraine is ironclad. Thank you.
Do you support President Costa's mission to overhaul enlargement? What do you think about the cooperation with drones?
Destruction and damage to a state like Ukraine, that it should be paying reparations ultimately. And the idea that authoritarian states can wage war and expect others to have to reconstruct afterwards is a principle I think needs to be shed, if you like, and alternative approaches need to be developed so as to provide deterrence for the future. And that we can protect people's territorial integrity and sovereignty into the future. But also raise the Middle East and again push very strongly for a cessation, obviously, of all war, an end to the Israeli attack on Gaza City. Massive surge of aid is required, and I think the President Trump's proposals does allow for a UN Red Crescent conducted aid program, which is absolutely vital in terms of the people of Gaza, and the cessation of all violence, the release of all hostages as well, and it creates an opportunity for progress. But the immediate priority must be a cessation of ceasefire, release of all hostages, and a massive surge of humanitarian aid.
Just on that loan to Ukraine that's been proposed, what's your thoughts on the nature of it in terms of touching the frozen assets? And then secondly, on the budget, do you accept that people will have and will have to face having less spending power this Christmas as a result of the decisions being taken?